Balloon Day, other things. My husband, as you may know, has just paddled across Bass Strait. He and 7 others got in 3 two-man kayaks and 1 single kayak. 6 times world endurance kayak champion John Jacoby went with them. Brian Freeman was their leader. He's a world-class adventurer. This is the first of what we call Bravehearts adventures. We're going to do 4 a year. And the next one is Kokoda, 96 Ks in 96 hours. And people pay to come on these adventures. We raise money. We also raise awareness. So we got a lot of media attention on this, although it could have been better. We just couldn't get the shots off the boat because he was on Vodafone. You can't get Vodafone off my back deck, let alone in the middle of Bass Strait, so hallelujah. But anyway, so we'll get all that sort of sorted out a little bit better. And then there's 2 others which I'll probably tell you a bit about. I'll tell you about it later. But they're the sort of things we're doing. Lots of awareness, lots of, and it's working. It's working. People are understanding now. People are getting their counselling and support. We make sure that counselling is available. So if we upgrade, if we upskill all our therapists, then all of a sudden they've got access to specialist counselling that they didn't have before. Where that's not possible, like in these Indigenous communities, look, we're really blessed there because we're actually invited into Indigenous communities, which Department of Health, because we go in with Royal Flying Doctors on the planes, tell us it's not common. Anyway, I wouldn't say it's rare, but it's not common that you're actually invited in, that they want you to come back. They've asked us to come back. So we've got access, an access to these communities that's not common. And we're going to use that to provide our counselling as well. And we're going to do that over the internet. We're going to work on that. That's going to be our hardest gig, I think, in Queensland, is to get those Indigenous communities better. I don't say we'll ever fix it. And research legislative reform, again, the LNP in the election talked about the 2 strikes and you're out policy, which is ours. We've been lobbying for that for a long time, and hopefully we're going to get it. It's going to be tricky. I mean, I talked to Ruddock in Canberra last week, and he rolled his eyes and kind of basically told me it was silly or whatever. What we're saying is, we've heard all this before. We heard it when we were lobbying for the Dangerous Prisoners Sexual Offenders Act. They told us it would never happen. How can you keep someone past their release date, done the crime, done the time? This is unfair. It's an objection to everything fundamental in the law, which is true. But it's also an objection to everything fundamental in child protection. You can't release dangerous people who you know are going to reoffend back into the community. So this is what we're fighting for. 2 strikes and you're out. So we put the community safety aspect of sentencing at the top, not underneath the civil rights of sex offenders. We say you do it once. We give you all the help in the world to rehabilitate inside and outside of the system. Once you're back out again and you're out here and you do it again, that's it. And it's the same for life. Same punishment as you get for murder. Life. It's a mandatory sentence for murder in Queensland. This 2 strikes will be a mandatory sentence for repeat child sex offenders. So 20 years, non-parole. Beautiful. Love it. Yes! It means that we don't have to think seriously. We're always worrying about, putting bracelets on people and satellite tracking of offenders, and they can't go here, they can't go. Where are they going to live? Look at Dennis Ferguson and his ilk around the place. And we've always said the question shouldn't be how we manage these people who are so dangerous as to require all of this management in the community. The real question is, why are we releasing them in the first place? And for Bravehearts, we don't need them to be in jail. I don't need anything bad to be happening to them. We just need them not to be around children. So if we can find somewhere else we can put them where there are no children, I'm happy with that too. In the United States, there's a thing called Coalinga, which we've been lobbying for here, which isn't exactly a prison, though it is a confined area, like a prison, but it's far more relaxed and it's almost like a mental health institution where it's all concentrating on rehabilitation and not punishment. And that's what they do in the United States. So one of the things, and that's on our legislative reform agenda, we just keep looking for where is it that we're not protecting children, and try and plug those gaps by bringing in new legislation. And if you go onto our website and have a look at our list of achievements, you'll see that we've been really, really successful in doing that for the last 15 years, and we're going to crank that up as well, something we're doing. We're working now with the country's most eminent people, I suppose, in the family law area of family law. There's a lot of stuff going on in the family law courts that shouldn't be. There's no easy solutions to that, but there's a couple of good things that we can be doing, and so we've got all these amazing people who've all come together under a Bravehearts working group to work on that. Just recently we got all our educational programmings and materials were adopted into the national foster carer training loop. So that there's children with sexualised behaviours that we've helped to develop a program that's now going to be delivered to all of the foster carers. So you can see we've been really, really busy. We've got people. I had a gentleman approach us last year, and he came to one of our meetings in Melbourne, and he said, I've never asked to be on board before. Normally I'm always asked, and his name is Bevan Mailman, and he's an Indigenous man, and he's the Chief Legal Officer for the National Australia Bank. And he said, but I'm asking, can I come on your board? So we put him on the board in the Melbourne Victorian board for a little while, and we've just appointed him to our major board, our national board here. This is the sort of calibre of people that we're now attracting, and it's really exciting because with them come these amazing contacts and this knowledge, this skill set and this knowledge that we can just tap into. And it's amazing how much quicker we can get things done and how much smarter we can be when we've got a group of people around us that we can tap into like that. So it started here in Queensland, this little thing called Bravehearts, and it's now become a national organisation. It's taking on a life of its own. I'm moving away from the CEO role, although I'm still keeping the title, but in the lead up to the last election, I put my hand up to be an independent. Well, I didn't actually. I thought about I'd run as an independent, mostly to get this outcome, which is fabulous. But in the process of that, a mate of mine who's in the other side of the country does polling for political parties and whatnot, so he ran a couple of polls and found that Bravehearts has got this amazing community acceptance. It was beyond my own expectations. It's huge. It's like 60% versus 20% Campbell Newman. And then after that, Daylight, before you got down to Bligh. Somewhere down there. So I thought, what am I doing sitting behind a desk? What I should be doing is going out and meeting corporates and getting in front of people. So I've put a succession plan in place at Bravehearts now. So we've got our new CEO who's in training. She's a very bright young woman, actually. She's our head of counselling at the moment. So every time something major happens, we bring Lisa in, Lisa Muser. I shall introduce you to her. And we are training her. It'll probably take 5 years or maybe a bit longer. She's just about to be married, she'll have a family. But she's our succession plan. So she's a lady that's going to take Bravehearts past when I'm kind of over there. I'm already over all the business end of it. So I'm sort of moving more toward the fundraising and the legislative reform, and I'll leave the business end. Because let me tell you, Keith Oliver has also joined us. Now this gentleman I should bring along also, you should meet him. We put an ad in the paper for a 1 day a week CPA because we just wanted to be sure about the money. I'm really fussy about the money. I never ever want any cloud or any doubt about our money. So I advertised we put in the thing, volunteer 1 day a week, retired CPA, surely somewhere on the Gold Coast can give us a day a week. And along comes this gentleman called Keith Oliver, South African man, or Rhodesian, I'm not sure, one of them. And he gave us a day a week, and then eventually, currently, long story short, he's now the national general manager of the whole shebang. This is a man who ran an international group of motels, hotels and gambling facilities, which he says like this, nonetheless. Big job, lots and lots of skill, incredibly intelligent. And then project built and ran Universal Studios in Dubai for many years. So this is a man that comes to us with this amazing knowledge and quick, sharp as a tack. He's about 60-something, 3, 4, 5, like that. But you give Keith a project. I'll say to him, like, just as an example last week, I said, well, I'd really like to know how much money we spent on wages to get that fundraising thing done, because I reckon if you factor in all the wages, I don't reckon we made anything at all on that. Maybe we should think about whether we do that again. Within the day, within hours, he had it back to me. Because he knows what he's doing, he's got it, he gets it. And it just makes, and we did make money, but not a lot, and no, we won't be doing it again. But this is what makes it work, is the calibre of people that we've attracted to our organisation, and we are going to take huge leaps forward in the not too distant future. We have been approached by 2 major national organisations which we're talking to now about